there, I'm Alexandra from the Virtual Events Academy, and today I'm going to show you how to enable the interpretation function in Zoom. To make sure that you have the interpretation function, you either need the Pro plan with the webinar add-on, and you have all the add-ons here below, and here is the webinar one. Alternatively, you can purchase the Zoom Business or Enterprise plan, and that will make sure that you have the simultaneous interpretation function built in already. Now, once you have that, you need to go to the settings, and in Meeting Advanced, you go down below and you see language interpretation, and you need to make sure that it's enabled. So it's blue. Now it's all set, and we can schedule a meeting or a webinar, because in my case I have the webinar add-on, so it gives me the option to either schedule a webinar with simultaneous interpretation or a meeting. Now let's schedule something real quick for you to see how it works. So you go down below and you have interpretation here, you enable it, check the box, and here you write the email address of your interpreter. Just for the sake of demonstration, I'm going to put in my own email address. You can select the language here and another one here. Let's do French. The interpreter inside the meeting can switch between these two channels. So if you have one interpreter who can interpret both ways, you're not restricted to just one direction. So the interpreter can start with translating from English to French, and then if it's required to do the other way around, he or she can switch into the other channel. If you need another interpreter, if you have a long meeting or if you have several languages going on, you can have somebody else added here as well. Just before you click on schedule, make sure that you've agreed with your interpreter on the meeting, on the time, because as soon as you schedule the meeting here in the system, the interpreter gets an email from Zoom with a link that you can click to access the meeting and being able to translate during the meeting. So make sure you've got that arrangements beforehand, and then you can schedule the meeting as you normally would do. I will start it straight away just to make sure that you know how to enable the function inside the Zoom itself. Now we're in Zoom, and what you need to do is here at the bottom you have the little globe icon with interpretation written. You select it, and you see that for that meeting I've got one interpreter already scheduled. Well, I haven't joined because I've sent the link to myself, but as soon as the interpreter joins, you have the name of the interpreter here. In case you need another one, you can always search by the name, by the person who is in the meeting already, and add them on when the meeting starts. So once it happened to us that the link for some reason didn't work in a Zoom meeting, so the person was there, then we just added the person manually through here, and it's totally possible. So as soon as you start, you'll see there's a pop-up saying that the interpretation is available. So now it will be seen for everybody inside the meeting. And what the participants and the panelists need to do, and this is very important, they need to select a channel, so either English or French. And if the panelists speak in English, they need to make sure they've selected the English channel and stick with it throughout the whole meeting, and vice versa goes for those who speak French in this case. You have the option to mute original audio, because Zoom has it built in that you still hear about 20% of the original audio, kind of even if the interpretation is happening at the same time, which might be useful. Some people like it, some not, so you have the option to have it there or not. And this is done individually. On any participant can mute or unmute the original audio. And just to make sure that whenever you start a meeting, you tell the panelists once they choose their channel, they stick with it, because if they start switching around, it just gets confusing for the interpreter, and some of the parts of the meeting will be lost. If somebody doesn't want any translation, if they understand both languages, they can switch it off. But again, if they're a panelist and they speak, it's important that they switch the channel, because if they speak in French, they need to make sure they choose the French channel so that the interpreter can translate it into English for those who do not speak it. So this is all I wanted to show you. I hope you've liked the video. Please let me know in the comments below if you want me to show any other functionalities of Zoom, or if you have any comment. See you in the next one.